what team that he plays for. I think it's Chelsea. If I'm right, I'm probably wrong.
Yeah.
Go ahead and chat in if I'm wrong, which I probably am. But they have a defined star, and their forward Samuel Eto'o is. I'm talking about Cameroon here. Sorry, Cameroon's star Eto'o will get goals, so you know that they're going to score. It's just about their defense. Whereas for Denmark, you never know if they're going to score, and you know that they're going to get scored on. So I'm thinking, although Denmark is ranked higher, that's a bit of a fallacy because they don't have those players that have the experience in the tough leagues and clubs like that. And we've also just forgotten completely about Japan, but Japan is 40th ranked overall,
yeah.
so they're a little bit on the outside of the door looking in, and look for them. I mean, if they're being overlooked, maybe they can make a couple upsets. So yeah. I don't have any idea about how good Japan is. I know that soccer is a pretty big sport in Japan, so look for definitely some support for them. Very similar to South Korea. A lot of those the Asian countries don't necessarily have anything else to root for other than soccer. So look for Japan to have support, obviously, but be overlooked and possibly get some upsets because of their being overlooked.
I agree.
So moving on, I guess. Why not? That was Group E. So now moving on to Group F. This is considered the group of life, as they call it, and you can see why. Their top-tier team is Italy, which, not to put Italy down considering they won the cup last time, but they're ranked 11th overall. 11th overall as the top team in your group is a little on the weak side. And considering they also have Paraguay, which a lot of these South American teams look really good in their qualifying tournament, the South American tournament
yeah.
to get into the FIFA World Cup was a hard-fought tournament with Brazil in there, who's ranked number 1 overall, Uruguay, which was 9th overall, Paraguay is 19th. I mean, they're just stacked in South America when you don't really expect it to be. Obviously, Europe, you're expecting it and stuff like that, but you don't really expect it out of South America. I mean, Brazil's always there, but other than that, Brazil, Argentina is usually the two. So definitely look for South America to make a big splash. And Paraguay, I have Paraguay going along with Italy in this group. So what do you have going on?
I have actually Italy winning the whole thing.
I just popped a lot of holes.
Well, I think they really don't have that much to worry about. I mean, Paraguay, other than that, but where they rank on my side, I had them on the bracket. They really didn't have that much to worry about, except for the USA and maybe Spain.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Spain would be definitely a difficult match. Italy, Spain would be huge.
Yes.
So
yeah, it'd be a great game to watch, I must say. But that's the only reason I have them going so far into
yeah, and Italy has, like a lot of their players, also similar to the Scandinavian countries. A lot of the Italian players play in the I can't think of that. I think it's called Serie A and Serie B. Serie A, which is like the Premier League of Italy. A lot of their players play in that, and it's a pretty competitive.
Not as competitive as the England but it's right there. It's pretty close. Yeah.
They have like AC Milan, which is a pretty good team. That's what Beckham was playing on when he got injured, so that he couldn't play in the World Cup. And they've got a couple other teams that are pretty good in Italy. So their players have the experience against these other great players, so they won't be intimidated quite like what some of these Scandinavian players will be going through.
True.
So that's the upside for Italy. I do have them as the number 1 team coming out of this, and then Paraguay number 2. But look for Slovakia and New Zealand. Somehow New Zealand got into this tournament, although they're ranked 90th overall in the SPI rankings.
I believe that's probably the game that who beat 6-1.
Oh, Netherlands.
Netherlands. I believe that's the game that they beat 6-1. So
obviously, the New Zealand did something right though to get into the tournament. They're qualifying. They must have done something really good. They must have beaten Australia or something in the Southern Pacific draw or something, because they don't count New Zealand out just because they're low ranking. I'm counting them out because they're low ranking, but don't necessarily do that, because they might be riding a high coming into this tournament.
Really?
And if I'm pretty sure it was them that lost to Netherlands 6-1. I mean, that can really damage their confidence. But if I'm wrong, then look for them to be extremely confident and
come out with some huge
capacity. And if they upset Italy, that would give them so much confidence. They beat the defending champions.
Really?
So and then Slovakia is 48th overall. I don't really expect them to do too much because I haven't heard a lot of speculation about them. This could also be kind of a Japan type deal where they're being completely overlooked and the teams just don't.
A couple upsets, but that's about it. So
yeah, look for teams to overlook Slovakia and New Zealand and possibly get some upsets out of this group, the group of life, group F. So. Moving on to the group of death. The group from the group of life to the group of death. Who we got in the group of death?
We got Brazil, Portugal, Ivory Coast, and North Korea.
Yeah.
Brazil, I must say.
Yeah. Brazil's ranked number 1 overall in the SPI rankings. And then you also have Portugal, who's ranked 6th overall. So watch those two duke it out in the group rounds.
Yeah.
And those matchups might determine how these teams do in the later, because it looks like these two, with the injury of Didier Drogba, who is the primary scorer for Ivory Coast, which is they're actually ranked 16th in this. That is a big blow to Ivory Coast. He's a primary scorer for them. So look for Brazil and Portugal to dominate this particular group. Although it was labeled the group of death because of Ivory Coast being in there. That is a huge injury. Didier Drogba breaking his arm, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would make you not play, but apparently he's not playing in the World Cup.
I mean, gosh, you're in the World Cup.
Yeah. So look for Brazil ranked number 1, Portugal ranked number 6, and North Korea. It's called the group of death for a reason. They're ranked 86th overall. So they might be.
You got to put them somewhere. So,
yeah.
I mean,
so I feel. It's hard for me to feel bad for North Korea, but I feel bad for North Korea.
Really do. They really don't have much of a chance in this
group of death. I mean, it's a hard draw for them.
Yes.
And their defense is probably the worst part about their team. And with Brazil's scores, Portugal with Cristiano Ronaldo, considered the best overall player in the game right now. With the forwards that Brazil has, there is no way that they're going to be able to stop their scoring of Brazil and Portugal. And even with the loss of Didier Drogba, Ivory Coast has plenty of attackers because, I mean, as we said, these African nations definitely know how to score, but it's just the defense. So look for North Korea to possibly get destroyed in the group rounds. But as we said, nobody's looking for them to do anything, so they have no real burden on them.
Yeah.
So look, I mean,
they can't come out and just. I think they might upset Ivory Coast. They might, but I don't see it happening.
The problem is
they at 30%.
Their goals for are so low. They average under a goal per game, so it's difficult for them to score. And although Brazil and Portugal and Ivory Coast, none of those teams are really, really good on defense.
Their offense is amazing.
Their offense will take over, and North Korea's absence of an offense will really hurt them and help these upper tier teams to just roll over them. So I I have Brazil #1 coming out of this, although Portugal is... I'm a big fan of Portugal. I feel like Brazil has just too much